F1 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, live updates, Lewis Hamilton on pole, Fernando Alonso bows out. The 2018 Formula One season draws to a close this afternoon at the stunning Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. While Lewis Hamilton wrapped up his fifth world title a few weeks ago and Mercedes clinched the Constructors' Championship last week, there will still be plenty for the drivers to fight for. The race could be said to be an emotional one for Fernando Alonso, who will leave the sport after a stunning 17-year career. The two-time world champion starts the race in 15th and will be dreaming of finishing in the points to leave F1 on a high. Further up the grid, and the Mercedes duo of Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas lock out the front row. Mercedes have said they will not intervene if Bottas and Hamilton get involved in a tight battle on track, which could provide an interesting scenario. Sebastian Vettel starts just ahead of Ferrari teammate Kimi Räikkönen, who will leave the Italian team for Renault next season. And just behind them are the Red Bull duo of Daniel Ricciardo and Max Verstappen, who are expected to be battling at the front, having shown the pace all weekend. Lap 12 action-packed start to the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Hülkenberg has been shaken up but is reportedly not showing any signs of injury after his scary crash, while Räikkönen is also out. Meanwhile, Lewis Hamilton took advantage of the safety car to head into the pits, meaning Bottas is now in the lead. Lap 8, Kimi Räikkönen is out. His career at Ferrari is over. The Finnish driver has parked his car on the straight and has lost all power. Tremendous shame seeing Räikkönen bow out of Ferrari like that. Lap 5, safety car coming in this lap after stewards clear the damage from Hülkenberg's crash. Lap 1, Hülkenberg, huge crash and horrendous moment for Hülkenberg as he is flipped through the air after contact with Romain Grosjean. His car is briefly on fire as it lay upside down in the barriers. Fortunately, stewards are quick to put out the small fire before helping the Renault driver out of his car. Lights out and away we go for the final race of the season. 1:05 p.m, cars are out for the formation lap after Will Smith, yes really, waved the ceremonial flag. Moments away from lights out. 1 p.m, this will be Daniel Ricciardo's final Grand Prix with Red Bull, but he isn't letting sentiment distract him for the job at hand. "I'm obviously going to try and target the guys in front, and hopefully get past the Ferraris early," he said. "If we can do that, we should be able to hang with the Mercedes." 12:50 p.m, Nico Rosberg has been speaking about Lewis Hamilton's title-winning campaign. "It takes a while to learn unless you're Lewis Hamilton," Rosberg said. "He's been growing a lot. He's just a little on the edge too much all the time. He has to reel that bit a little bit. He's understood that." "If he's got the car next year, he can be a contender for the championship." 12:40 p.m, hello, good afternoon and welcome to Express Sports blog for the final race of the 2018 Formula One season at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. While Lewis Hamilton has already wrapped up the world title while Mercedes clinched the Constructors' Championship last time out, it is still expected to be an interesting race with drivers looking to get some bragging rights heading into 2019. Stay tuned as we take you through the season finale. Related articles: Max Verstappen better than Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg makes controversial claim. Hamilton has won his fifth title and is 149 points ahead of the Dutchman ahead of the final race of the season. But 2016 champion Rosberg claims Verstappen has been a cut above the Brit for much of the year. He showed he learned from those mistakes at the beginning of the season. "The speed was always there," he said. "In the second half, he's put it all together and maybe he's been even the best driver out there." He's done a phenomenal job, the car has improved as well, so the package is better. It's been really fun to watch. Rosberg now thinks Verstappen is poised to mount a world title charge in 2019. He added, "It takes a while to learn unless you're Lewis Hamilton. He's been growing a lot. He's just a little on the edge too all the time. He has to reel that bit a little bit, he's understood that." If he's got the car next year, he can be a contender for the championship. Related articles: Max Verstappen, Red Bull driver reveals the one thing he would change about F1 career. Verstappen is taking part in his 81st race at motorsport's top level on Sunday as the 2018 season comes to an end at the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The 21-year-old has so far secured 5 wins, the most recent of which came in Mexico last month, as well as 21 podium finishes. One track where he has failed to deliver on his immense potential though is the Monaco street circuit. The Red Bull driver failed to finish on his debut at the race in 2016, while he was 5th and 9th there in the past 2 years respectively. Verstappen has now identified the way he previously approached the Monaco Grand Prix as being the one element of his career that he would change if he could go back in time. "The only thing I would tell the young Max is in Monaco build it up a little bit easier as it's not been my favorite track I must say," Verstappen told. But, other than that, it'd be nothing. Verstappen faces a battle to seal a 22nd podium finish at this Sunday's. The Dutchman started 6th on the Yas Marina circuit grid following a disappointing qualifying session. And on Saturday he singled out why he had experienced problems with his Red Bull car. "I'm not overly happy with how qualifying went today," Verstappen said. "After the first run in Q3 I knew we needed to get the tire temperatures down in order to improve the grip. We tried this for my final run but unfortunately they were still too high. This meant I aborted my flying lap as I was just sliding everywhere, especially in the final sector. The car balance wasn't quite as good as it has been in previous qualifying sessions. I wasn't able to get what I wanted out of the lap. Starting on hypersofts wasn't the original plan but it could be interesting, being on a different compound to some of the others could prove helpful. Overtaking is a bit tricky around here, definitely not as straightforward as Brazil. It will take strategy and a bit of luck to be on top, on Sunday. Our race pace once again looks good, so I'll do my best to get on the podium." Related articles: Nico Hülkenberg car on fire after being flipped over on opening lap of Abu Dhabi race. All the cars got off to a clean getaway when the lights went out but Hülkenberg's race came to a frightening end a few corners later. Attempting to make a move on Haas Romain Grosjean, Hülkenberg was blindsided by the Swiss driver. And disaster struck as was clipped by his rival before being sent flying through the air. Hülkenberg's Renault car flipped over twice before coming to a crashing halt into the Yas Marina circuit barriers. And there was immediately fear for Hülkenberg as a fire broke out at the back of his car. "Get me out of this fire," Hülkenberg said over Renault team radio. "There's fire." Stewards were quickly able to put out the fire but there was also concern about Hülkenberg's safety with the car laying upside down. The damaged Renault was carefully flipped back over with Hülkenberg then seen getting out of his car seemingly okay. The collision was under investigation but Grosjean was adjudged to have done nothing wrong, something F1 pundit Martin Brundle agreed with. "Grosjean did nothing wrong there. I imagine he was in the blind spot of Hülkenberg there," he said. Hülkenberg was joined in retiring from the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix early on by Ferrari's Kimi Räikkönen.